Hello everyone, welcome. I'm very excited to be here live with you today on the day of the solstice. A very powerful day. It's a day when the energies are reaching a culmination point, so it can be an opportunity for you to really shift your energy at this time. Anything that's been stuck, anything that's been languishing for a while, you can get a real boost at the time of this eclipse. I'm so excited to be here with you today and to share with you some of the astrological aspects that are coming up at this time and how you can really observe these energies inside of you and also globally in our world. And how can we, what I really love to do with astrology is to take what might be difficult aspects and see how we can improve them just by changing our perspective as how we interpret those aspects. So, here goes, and welcome to each and every one of you who's joining right now. There are many just joining, and for those of you who are watching afterwards when I'm not live, welcome to you too. It's such a joy to be able to interact with you like this, because I don't really prepare for this. You know, this isn't like some of my other videos where a great deal of preparation goes into this. This is more a meditative preparation that goes into this. I meditate and I say I'm guided to do something for the solstice, and then I just allow myself to go into a flowing space with you, so that there is an element here of a co-creation happening. You are pulling out of me information, and some of you might ask questions, and of course I'm always delighted to get your questions, so that this can be interactive and we can learn from one another. So, the eclipse. Eclipses are coming up. July the 12th, 13th, around there, we've got an eclipse coming up in Cancer. We're coming now into the season of Cancer. You Cancerians, happy birthday for you Cancers who are watching. Say hello if you are Cancers. Tune in and say hello, especially because it is, of course, a focus on the energy of Cancer. So what is this energy of Cancer? Because we're beginning a series of eclipses that start on July 12th and go all the way until the middle of 2020. So this is a 2-year period that is getting a kickstart, if you like, now. Because I always think that we get the energy of the eclipses. Yes, Cancer rising counts, of course it does, as does Cancer moon. Welcome, all you Cancerians. And so we are looking at the energies of this eclipse coming up in Cancer, which is, if you like, a start point for all this series of eclipses in Cancer and Capricorn for the next 2 years. And looking at what this means. What does this mean to us personally? Well, with Cancer, think of really, let's look at the crab. So the crab, it lives in the sea, in the water, but it also lives on the land as well. So it's able to be in different environments. But what the crab wants more than anything is a home. It loves to have a home. So anything to do with your home, your family, your security, your stability, all these things are probably going to be magnified at the time of these Cancer eclipses. And I always take things opposites into account. Always use the opposites in astrology. I can't iterate that often enough, because the signs work beautifully as pairs. And so we've got Cancer, which is the home, nurturing, the mother, the divine mother, the soft energy, the yin energy. And then we've got Capricorn, the opposite energy, which is a yang energy, which is more the divine masculine, which is everything to do with work and integrity and ambition and structure. And what we are looking for is a balance between the two. A balance between working and getting nourishment from your work. I love my work. I can't wait to come and be with you. For me, it's an absolute delight to do these videos and to interact with you. So it's about finding work that you love, and then putting the Cancerian bit, your heart and your soul and everything about you, your emotions, your feelings, into your work. Because the work alone, the Capricorn energy on its own, no, they don't cancel the other. They contribute to one another, and they balance one another. So Capricorn, you see Cancerians, they like to stay home. My dad was a Cancerian, and my mother liked to go on holidays to Italy and different places. She'd love to go abroad. And my dad always wanted to stay home. He said, but it's comfortable here at home. So Cancer has a tendency to get very comfortable. So beware if you're getting too comfortable. At the same time, you need a degree of comfort and a degree of pushing out of the nest and into the Capricorn energy, where you actually do something in the world, where you're useful, where you're productive. So these are the energies that we're working with. And it's important to have the balance. Cancer is very creative, very musical often, artistic, very good in business often. This Cancerian time could be very good for striking up some good business deals. And so, we're building up to a time in 2020. A very significant lineup of planets happens in 2020. All in Capricorn. And I see this period now, as we go into this first eclipse on July the 12th, 13th, depending where you live, I see this as being a pivotal time as to how do you view family. Yes, you've got your birth family, that's one thing. But then how about the other type of family that we have, our online family? How about our world family? There is a finding of one another, making each person that you meet, why not think of that person as part of your family? Now that's a different approach, because family has always been quite, for most people, limited, restricted. You might have a brother and a sister, mother, father, and it's not very big. And often it can be quite insecure, because what if one of them dies or several die and you feel very alone? I see this time as a broadening out, as seeing everybody, if you can, as part of the family of humanity. And that might include people who you really disagree with. And given the politics in America right now, and the polarization that's going on there, that might be difficult to imagine. But try. Begin to try. And somebody's saying here, you wish you just had one friend. Make a friend. resolve to make a friend with somebody. And not necessarily a deep and meaningful friendship, but just a connection would do. An eye connection with somebody in the supermarket, on a train, on a bus, in the petrol station, wherever you are. There you go. Robert, Lottie has just offered to be your friend. Look at that. Here online, we're creating connections. And the Cancer energy, all each one of us wants, is to be loved. Am I wrong? To love and to be loved. That's at the root of everything. When you feel loved and you feel loving, you feel calm, don't you? Yeah, you feel soothed. That's the kind of energy, the deeper energy of the Cancer. Because Cancer is only insecure if it doesn't feel as though it's got family, if it doesn't feel as though it's got people who it cares about and who care about it. And if that's the case, then that hard shell becomes soft and it shows its underbelly, that tasty underbelly, that beautiful underbelly, you see. So I'm being asked a great question here. Do I think opposites can reconcile in this polarized world? Well, I think they're going to have to. Actually, they're going to have to find a way to be able to do things differently, to change the course of history, yeah, to change the repeated atrocities, the repeated cruelties, the repeated things that we have done to one another. So, I'm going to suggest, I love Ben Zander. I'm a fan of Benjamin Zander. He's the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra, and he is somebody who brings classical music to life. And this can be a very musical time, but one of the things he gives the youth orchestra assignments each week. And one of the assignments was to give affection to an unlikely person. How about giving affection wholeheartedly to somebody unlikely? Now there's a little assignment to do. Yes, one world, one family. Isn't that really what we're going for? Hey, we're going to have disagreements. We're not all going to agree. We're not all going to do the same thing. We're going to have our differences, yes. But if there is an underlying love and feeling for one another, then we can move mountains. We can conquer everything. All the difficulties and problems on this earth, I feel we can solve. So I'm getting you some deep stuff here. But really, I think that Capricorn energy, we are seeing many of our structures are crumbling. Many of the structures are going to have to change radically. Our economy, politics, social, education, health, pharmaceuticals, the whole structure of our world is changing. That's this Capricorn energy. So it's important to look at your structures in your life. Are you being too harsh on yourself? Could you be kinder? Could you be gentler? Could you be softer? Could you remember to nurture? Could you remember to speak gently? If you can think of what would be your ideal mother, who would be your ideal mother? And then really think about that person. So, we're dealing very much with parents here. Issues around parents may well come up. How your parents treated you or didn't treat you. How you feel about your relationships with family or non-relationships with them. And there's an opportunity now at this solstice to set an intention for some healing to happen, for some breaking of the ties of the old, destructive behavior patterns. Set yourself an intention. Instead of getting back into the old complaining, griping, vicious circle that goes nowhere, see if you can cut through the Gordian knot and find something. Find a different way of dealing with family. And if you can't do that with very close family, because that might be a little difficult, that might be a tall order, then do it with friends. Then do it with people that you just meet. See if you can look at somebody and see the humanity in that person. Because I think that we are now at a place where we're going to be able to find our own tribes. Those people that we choose to be around, those people that are uplifting, that are nurturing, that are nourishing, that are also hardworking, that want to contribute to this world. This is this Cancer Capricorn energy, you see. So, very important, the nurturing, the relaxing, the water energy is very powerful at this time. The gentleness, speaking gently to yourself. And then at the same time, the structure, the boundaries, the things that you want to accomplish. But that the two come together. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have no expectations of people? It's only expectations, largely, that cause issues in relationships when you expect something from someone. And great, somebody's saying here, hi Francisco, welcome, not to be a victim to your situation. That's very Cancerian, often quite the victim. Oh, poor me. Oh, it's all happening to me, everybody's doing it to me. No, you take responsibility and you step out. So there's some big issues going to probably be triggered at this time. Goodness gracious, we are seeing that politically. I don't want to get into a political discussion here, but certainly immigration issues, children being separated from families, all of these things, and that's a magnified example. But even in so-called ordinary families, that is still happening. So although something's making the news, there are other things that are not making the news that also need to be looked at. Mars is square Uranus for the next few months, so it's really important to remember to breathe, to not fly off the handle. Mars, Uranus, you're going to see a lot of impatience. You're going to see people really, tooting their horns and wanting things quickly. Try, if you can, to observe it, but don't become a part of it. That's my best recommendation with that aspect. So we're going to have to look at borders and boundaries. Borders between ourselves and other people. Borders and boundaries between our countries, our nations. And it's coming up with some creative new solutions. We can be new, we can be fresh. This is a solstice. This is a new moon solar eclipse coming up July 12th, 13th. An opportunity to find new ways of dealing with old issues. Let's begin to think differently. And we can do this together. You see. Great, well done. You flew off the handle, Chloe, but you caught yourself afterwards. Great. Okay, you're becoming more observant. So yes, why are we shutting the doors? Why are countries shutting doors? What doors are you closing in you? And why? These are all important questions, and I think emotions are going to get stirred up. Cancer is a water sign. It's the emotions. So yes, that's a great question, Irina. How to keep your own boundaries and yet speak gently. My answer to that would be to just get in touch with your own heart, to even take your pulse, to literally just take your pulse, calm yourself, breathe, and then respond. And if you can't speak gently and kindly, say nothing. So, these are just big issues, big challenges that we're all facing, and important ones, because there's so much loneliness on this planet, so much isolation, so many people who feel as though they're not connected. Let's have a vision that we can connect with one another like we connect here on the internet. I want to connect with each and every one of you that's here with me today. My heart wants to connect with you. The more hearts that connect together, the more power we have to bring goodness to everything that we touch. Everything. Yeah. Is everything perfect? No, it's far from perfect. I'm certainly not saying that. There's hard work to be done. Capricorn energy. Hard work to rebuild. And what's coming up for the rest of this year are many, many retrogrades. We've got retrograde Mars coming up at the end of June till the end of August. We've got, of course, a couple of Mercury retrogrades to go. We've got Venus retrograde. So yes, we're bringing things to critical mass. That's the idea. That's what I'm hoping for by these regular interactions. So retrograde is a time to come back to things, to come back with new eyes to situations that have been impossible in the past, to come back with new ears, with a new voice, with a soft heart, to be able to come back and do things differently. The retrogrades give us an opportunity with the Mars retrograde coming up to act differently. Mars doesn't like to be retrograde. Mars likes to plough on and plough over everybody. It's going to be my way or the highway. Mars is retrograde. Time to look at how you do use your energy. Time to review. Yes, many planets going retrograde. Not everything, but many. So it's an opportunity to go back to things in your life that you used to do. I've gone back to my violin playing. I used to love the violin. I dropped it for a while, and I got myself a violin today. Not a very expensive one, but I just have this yearning in my heart to come back to the music. What do you want to go back to that you used to love? Oh, you can get things done with Mercury retrograde. Often you can complete things that you started, that you haven't been able to get done when the planets go retrograde. Things are slower, much slower. Yes, I will play for you. I'd love to play for you. Here it is. Here's my lovely fiddle. I'm just so happy with it. I'd love to play for you, but see, this is just spontaneous here, but it's just a joy. What tune can you play? So, just the violin to me touches the heartstrings. So it's about touching your heartstrings, pulling at people's heartstrings. That's what music does. That's why I love music. It's a universal language. I don't have to worry whether you're understanding me or not. You'll hear it, it'll touch you. Each one of us has a tone, a frequency, a music. Yes, I'll take requests. So just put your heart into something that you love. Never mind the money, never mind any of those things. Put your heart into it and watch your world come alive. I'm going to take this violin this evening, actually. A dear friend of mine, she fell and broke her hip, sadly. I'm going to go to the hospital with it, actually. I don't know how it'll go down in a Greek hospital, but I want to play her the violin. I want her to know how much I love her, and I want it to heal her. It's a wonderful opportunity to heal people at this time, for self-healing, and for just living your authentic self in the moment. Yes, not planning everything out. Yeah, don't plan it all. Yes, if I planned what I was going to do, I wouldn't be able to share this with you. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel my heart opening, and I hope that your hearts are opening. Let's open our hearts at this solstice. Let's decide that we're not going to allow harshness and violence to one another to coexist with the nurturing and the love. Let's really set an intention together. There is such a power when we come together and do this. 1 is good, 2 is good. The more we do this, we touch one another. We do. Look at these hearts coming through. You're all putting hearts here. I'm seeing hearts. It's glorious. There is a heart energy connection happening here and now at this solstice. Look at it. I'm so thankful for you guys. This comes from me because of you. Me sitting here on my own doesn't happen. We're doing it together. That's it. Look at these hearts. More hearts. Type in those hearts. Let's see those hearts going out throughout our world, our planet, our galaxy. This soft energy. Softness. Nurturing. Because when a child feels nurtured and loved, it can go into the world and accomplish and do things with love. Because it's not afraid. So let's bring one another up again. I'm loving all these hearts coming through. It's just glorious, you see? Yes, this is it. Let's give love. Let's give one another love. I'm going to have to give you another little blast of violin for this loving feeling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You've touched my heart today. Let's have this energy. Heal those who are unwell. Bring solace to those who are in pain, who feel alone. Let's connect. It's what we've been calling out for. Thank you. Thank you. We're all in this together. And I'm so thankful you're with me. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I don't have any more words. Thank you for being with me today. And a big hug to all of you. If I had arms big enough, thank you. Thank you for your hearts in allowing this to unfold. I love you. Thank you.